The first thing I do is go to Widener Library. This library is very historic and very beautiful. Harvard loves chandeliers. This is my go-to room. I like it because there's usually not that many people and the desks are pretty big. Now we get set up. So now I'm going to work on reading this research paper. It was sent to me by this postdoc that I work with. We do research in quantum computing. Basically, Google made this claim a few years ago that they attained something called quantum supremacy. Never mind what that is, just know that it's a huge deal in our field. And there's a few people that are a little skeptical about their claim. And this postdoc that I work with, he's one of these people. So he sent me this research paper and he wants me to prove something for him. But since I'm so new to this problem, I have to spend the majority of my time reading and learning. Whenever I get tired, I just sit back in my chair and stare up at the ceiling. That's actually the reason that I love working in this room so much. The ceiling is gorgeous. But sometimes if I get a little tired of the scenery, then I'll switch over to the main room. This is probably the most iconic room at Harvard. Everybody in here is always focused and working very hard. I found a nice spot on this armchair, and I'm just spending my time reading over this research paper. But at this point, I'm still very confused about what they're trying to say. But doing physics is really just about working through that confusion until you figure out the answer. Now we're off to eat dinner. I usually eat dinner at Lease. It's where all the research labs are. And to get there, I walk through the yard. After dinner, then I go to my office in the physics building. But first, let me give you a quick tour. This door at the end of the hallway is my advisor's office. He established the Millennium Prize problems. These are 7 really hard math problems, and if you can solve one, you win $1 million. The movie Gifted starring Chris Evans is about one of these problems. This is the most Harvard-looking room we have in this building, and for whatever reason, it has a piano. These are the mailboxes for the faculty, and Shelley here won the Nobel Prize. Now I go to my office. I usually spend the rest of my day working here. That blackboard you see in the background is what we use for our group meetings and our talks, but mostly we use it when we're having discussions with each other. So the writing you see on it right now is from a discussion I had with a postdoc on something called random quantum circuits. Our office has a lot of really amazing people. One of the grad students who sits next to me, he graduated as valedictorian from Columbia. Another guy in this office, he got his PhD under someone who won the Fields Medal, which is basically the Nobel Prize for math. And the guy who sits behind me, he's the one who's arguing with Google. So when I walk in here, I'm always motivated to work really, really hard. And now it's time to head back home. Walking through the yard is a great way to end the day. And now we're going to catch the tea. We're going to end this story the way it started, over the Charles.